Okay, family, we get paid to read these books. We get November going with Ryan Serhant, Sell It Like Serhant. All right, let's get into it. So we still in, I think this is still chapter 1. Yeah, chapter 1. And on page 17, he's talking about confidence. And I think I talked about this yesterday too, actually. And he says, none of this works without confidence. Now, I remember when I started in sales and marketing in our business when I was 22 years old, and my coach, we would have training sessions, and my coach would be saying stuff to do that with my mind would be, he would, like, we selling life insurance, and he would say, all right, Chris, we go back, we do a first presentation, and then when we go back on the second presentation, you come in the house and say, Mr. and Mrs. Client, I need you to write me a check for $1,422.16. And then they gonna say whatever they gonna say. He'll overcome the objection to close the sale. Do you know that sounded like, I don't know, like magic? My confidence. I was scared to ask for a check for $45 after I done went through this stuff for 30 minutes. He said, walk in the door and start off with saying, I need Mr. and Mrs. Client, I need you to write me a check for $1,426. Jimmy J, look, $1,000 to me was like $1 million. And you talking about going to the house and asking about a check for $1,000. I just didn't have the confidence to run the play. Teammates, a lot of times people don't move forward because they just don't have the confidence to run the play at that point. You got to be patient with things. God, my coach was patient. And eventually, my confidence now, I can get checks for people for $1 million. But back then, I was uncomfortable asking for somebody for a check for $1,000, and they wanted it. So, be patient with your team. Their confidence has got to catch up with the plays you call them. I'm preaching better than y'all saying amen. All right, now let's get over this. Okay, go on. I'm on. Now, number 2. So, Ryan Serhant, he's talking about, getting good at being a real estate broker. He's learning how to do it. He's got a prospect in Paris, and he's in New York, and he met him through email. The deal was getting shaky. He was like, man, I need to meet this guy in person. He flies to Paris to hunt this guy down without an appointment. Listen to this. Did I mention that I didn't really have plans to fly to Paris? I did now. I wanted to show this buyer, pirate, drug dealer that I was totally committed to him and closing the deal. I was hungry for this sale, literally, because I was about to spend my last few $1,000s flying to Paris to meet with a potential client or a criminal. On and on and on and on. It was a bunch of moving parts, but at the end of closing that deal, that same guy over a 20-year period, that same guy ended up buying $250 million in real estate from Ryan. And my point is, this is a cliche, everybody heard this before, no risk, no reward. No risk, no reward. Fortunately, we're in the type of business where I ain't got to spend thousands of my last $1,000 to fly to Europe to meet somebody. But it's amazing. I talk to people that they are so afraid they won't risk anything. They won't risk their effort. It's crazy I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't know, I grew up like that. It's the amount of fear. We are like, what in the world are we afraid of to just try stuff? No risk, no reward. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. You have to be going for something. All right? That boy is preaching good today. All right, let's go over here to point 3, and I'm going to let y'all go. Now, saying yes, selling more. Basically, he's talking about taking advantage of every potential opportunity. Like you've heard the saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Well, and so he's saying you got to say yes, try it. What you got to lose? Try it, try everything. Something's going to work. Now listen to this. He says, sure, and this is page 29. He says, sure, maybe people thought I was crazy to chase down a possible pirate. But you know what? Now listen, He says, when people think you're crazy, it's just because they don't have the courage to do what you're doing. And listen to this. And who cares what other people think? Ryan, I appreciate your confidence, but when you say who cares what people think, freaking 98% of people in America, like they toe up about what people think. They are like in a prison because they're so concerned about what people think. They are like, entrapped by what people think. Like everything about what people think about them potentially is holding them back. Who cares? Thank God I'm reading this book. I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about. Today, like I heard him on a video, Ryan said, no shame, no money. I love that saying. Like sometimes you too broke not to try something. Like you too broke not to try. Like what in the world? You too broke to say no to anything. Listen, I can talk about you, let me talk about me. When I was doing the business, I wasn't moving back to the infield. I wasn't moving back in that trailer next to the hog pen. I was too broke not to work, not to join Primerica or whatever else opportunity I could find. No money, no shame. You have to get past what people think so you can move yourself forward. Point 3, no money, no shame. All right, teammates, I love you guys. This has been great. We'll run this play again tomorrow.